Well, I think a lot of people are going to use this 3-day weekend to get their last visit with Bao Bao at the National Zoo.
I know. After more than 3 years, the panda cub will soon head back to China. Fox says Gary McGrady got reaction from some of her biggest fans.
Well, maybe you heard, maybe you haven't heard, but it's time for Bao Bao to go back to China. We're all a little depressed around here. There's no doubt about that. She's going back a little early. Generally, they go back when they're 4 years old. Bao Bao's only 3.5. We got the birth announcement. This was Friday, September 6th from the Washington Post. Maybe you remember, maybe you don't, not sure. But here she is. It's a girl. Of course, this wasn't the birth date, but it's when they announced it. Didn't even have a name back then. There's Bao Bao in the distance. She's stirring just a little bit. She's pretty much, it looks like to me, we're not sure if she's worried about the trip back or she's just getting some rest. She's headed back to China next week. Back to China? What do I mean, back to China? She's just going for the first time.
It's not unusual for a wild panda to move a long distance away from their native, natal area where they were born.
Marty also tells us it's going to be a long trip for Bao Bao headed back to China. Some 16 hours the flight's going to be. She loves bamboo, so they're going to take 50 pounds for the flight. Sweet potatoes, and another sweet treat, apples. Is this Bao Bao?
That's Bao Bao. They're all Bao Bao, Jolly.
Meet Joyce Potemkin. She's a friend of the zoo. She brought a gift. Her way of just saying, can't we please keep Bao Bao around for a little bit longer?
Let babe Bao Bao stay here. She's only the second panda born in the zoo in 50 years that has survived. Let us keep her. Let all of the Chinese come see our Bao Bao.
There's a loan agreement. So Meishong and Tiantian, her parents, are here on loan, and that loan agreement stipulates that any cub we have is required to go to China. They can stay here up until they're 4 years old. So she's 3.5 years old. It's right in the perfect time for her to head back.
It's just kind of like a contract.
Absolutely.
Yes, I know people are more important. I know people have problems in the world. But let's start with the pandas.
Let's do it.
Let's start with the pandas. Yep.
Back to you guys in the studio.
Thank you so much.
How can I say it any better?
Thank you so much.
I think she beats out her own Gwen Talbert for a fan of Bao Bao. The National Zoo has several events planned too, leading up to Bao Bao's departure for China next week. We put a link on our website, fox5dc.com, to help you say or get a chance to say goodbye to Bao Bao.